Knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is CharVision. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on CharVision today. We have a great show, a really great show. And all the way from Australia, we have Elizabeth Peru, who's been on before, and she's fascinating. And she is a cosmic guide. She knows all about the planetary energies. She knows so many things. And I want to introduce her. Elizabeth?
Hi,
sweetie.
Char. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? So good to see you. So, okay, tell us, everybody is interested in everything you have to say, but the one thing that I know affects everybody is Mercury Retrograde. And I was wondering if you could help us understand, first of all, tell us what Mercury Retrograde is.
Okay, that sounds better. Okay, yes, it does affect everyone. Because it's a fast-moving energy, and so here on Earth, rather than being one of the really outer planets, it's one of the planets that's closer to Earth.
Okay, well, tell us what Mercury retrograde is.
So around about 3 to 4 times a year, Earth appears to take over in its revolution around the sun from Mercury. So Mercury takes about 88 days to revolve around the sun, and Earth days, and obviously we have 365 days of the year. So roughly every 3 to 4 months, it's kind of like, if you can imagine, we catch up with one another. So when you're on the highway and you're driving next to a car and you're about to pass them, when you get close to them, you're almost level. And then when you take over, they appear to be going backwards, but they're not. They're still driving forwards.
Right.
But from your perspective, they're going back and you're going ahead.
And
that's what happens during a retrograde of any planet. We appear from our Earth-centric view, because everything we see about the universe is from our perspective, that we're moving ahead of them. And so Mercury is the messenger planet. And what I've found that means is that we become the messengers for a 3-week period of the year, say every 3 to 4 months. Okay. And so all communication gets heightened.
Okay, so how does this energy shift affect most of us?
So it opens us up. It allows us to talk about things we wouldn't normally talk about, everything we stuff down and hide within. All the people from your past tend to come back in, all the relationships that you might not want to re-look at, the energy opens up again.
And why does it cause friction with communication, misunderstandings, delays,
because
cancellations?
From an energetic standpoint, Mercury looks after electricals on Earth. It affects our electrical systems. So, and of course, we're electrical beings. We're charged with electricity as well. So this is why we tend to find that things like electronics, anything mechanical, computers, our own brain, everything almost gets like a bit of an upgrade. It's kind of like shimmering through the motherboard.
So what I found during Mercury retrograde is that when we're all aware of it, it helps us cope with our lives better, because if things start going wrong or delays or miscommunications, you go, oh, well, there's a reason for that. It's Mercury retrograde.
Absolutely. And that's why I love talking about it so much. And I'm one of probably the few people out there that talks about it, that loves it.
I do too. You love Wait it too. A second. I love it too.
Yeah, I love it too.
I bet you know why? I know I love it because I was born under Mercury retrograde.
So you would be on fire during a Mercury retrograde.
Were you born under Mercury retrograde?
No, I'm not. I've learned to appreciate it because I don't mind a bit of challenge, and I don't mind a bit of hard work. And I know that sometimes you've got to go through the more difficult times to get the gold and learn the lesson.
I mean, everything is heightened for me. during Mercury retrograde.
It would be.
Once in a great while, there's one that is a problem. Once in a great while. But most of the time, it's like, oh, I'm so excited. It's Mercury retrograde.
How have you found them recently? Like, how have you found them, like, in the last, say, 12 months?
Amazing things have happened to me. Like, way more than coincidental things that happened to me in my life anyway, but just heightened.
Yeah, so much opportunity and so much moves quickly.
Why is that?
Well, I think we're all becoming more aware as well.
Right. Right. And it is opportunities, and it is like quickly, and it is like things are happening. It's great.
Because I always say to people, during the Mercury retrograde, we become like detectives. And we can go back through aspects of our life that we missed before and uncover facts and details. Because you know what it's like in everyday life. Sometimes we tend to gloss over things. We don't want to look at it in the moment. For whatever reason, we might have to, put ourselves forward a little bit, and we might be a little bit wary of doing that. So we hold back a little. But during the Mercury retrograde, you have to fully sort of delve into everything that you've hidden or that others have hidden from you in the past.
Okay, and I missed that first thing you said about it because the sound was pretending like it was Mercury retrograde. What was that first thing you said?
I know. It's interesting. We're talking about Mercury retrograde and the signal's going a little bit haywire.
Yeah, exactly. right. So how can we psychologically help all of us at CharVision feel more balanced during Mercury retrograde? Like, do you do anything special?
I plan things. So, for example, with my work, I plan to go over old ground. I look at my website, for example, and this is the period I go into it and redo all the wording, maybe redo the images, because you're clearer and you can see things from a bigger perspective. So I would suggest to people, plan for your Mercury retrograde to do all your research on anything you've been wanting to research.
Right.
Use that period to discover and uncover what you would normally not be able to see. Look at perhaps upgrading your electricals, your computers. Go research them. Go look at what's best for you. With travel plans, it's a great time to be thinking about travel. If you are traveling, you can expect lots of changes.
Right. Well, why do people say that, or astrologers say, don't start something new during Mercury retrograde?
Okay, it's a good point. Because what will happen is whatever you begin during the Mercury retrograde proper, and that's a 3-week period, although the whole season lasts for about 8 weeks. But during that 3 weeks where it begins and ends, the thing to remember during a Mercury retrograde
what do we start
proper.
During Mercury retrograde?
Okay, so anything that you begin during that period will be up for change for its entire life cycle. So it's not set in stone. And a lot of people like to know that something that they've begun is a sure thing. However, what you begin under a Mercury retrograde will remain flexible for its life cycle. Now, that really is a good thing, because sometimes you want to have change. You want to have the option and the flexibility to be able to maneuver things around. For example, businesses like Microsoft and Disney began during a Mercury retrograde.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
But wait, but I've been told that if you plan it ahead of time, like when you plan it, you don't do it during Mercury retrograde, like the first beginnings of it, but you can start it during Mercury retrograde, like the real momentum of it. Is that true?
If you don't want to have lots of change down the track, yes, absolutely. Start maybe the motions of it. Like I said, the research, it's brilliant during a Mercury retrograde because you're a lot clearer and more precise and detailed.
Whoa.
But if you actually begin something like sign a contract to say this is it, just keep in mind that it's not a bad thing. It just means that things are going to change within that contract consistently. Say, for example, you signed a contract on a house during Mercury retrograde. Pretty well guaranteed at some point in the few weeks after that, there'll be a change to that contract. I find that it's normally in your favor.
Oh.
It's stuff that actually helps you out that you couldn't have imagined. It could be that, say, the buyer, wants the seller of the home wants to have another 3 weeks. And at first you might think, oh gosh, another 3 weeks till I move in. That's not good.
Right.
But then when that 3 weeks eventuates, you may discover that, you needed to travel, or you needed more money to get together, and it actually worked out perfectly for you. I've signed many contracts under Mercury retrograde, and those types of things happen to me.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I talked over you. You what during Mercury retrograde?
Like, I've said yes to many things and signed contracts under Mercury retrograde, fully knowing that, this is Mercury retrograde, something's going to change within this. And my hindsight was always, oh my gosh, I'm glad I did, because yes, things changed, but they were to my benefit in the long run.
So it changes for the better for you.
Always. Always. If I can get my stubborn head out of the way, my personality and my need to control, which we all have, you will find that soul leads you into the more perfect situation for yourself when you remain flexible and open to change.
Well, are there, is it more difficult to make your energy predictions in a time like Mercury retrograde when there's such a shift?
They're just faster moving. They're more in the moment. Wow. And I don't find them any more difficult than any other time of the year, for me anyway.
Well,
I mean, really, the more you begin to work with Mercury retrograde, you find that you carry that energy over throughout the year too.
Okay, so do you also work with astrology?
Not the typical zodiac horoscopes. I do look at the patterns of planets and the movements around the sun, and then I intuit what that means.
Have you?
So sorry.
Have you created your own process then that you can teach other people to do?
Not particularly. I just basically, I'll look at like a movement, like I'll know when Mercury retrograde is going to begin and end, and then I ask myself, what does that mean?
I see.
And then I go in, and because I guess I've got a relationship with it, and I've observed it for about 15 years now in my own life and in the life of all the clients I've worked with and everyone I see, I have an intuition of what that means, and I also just tune into my soul and ask, what does it mean this time? Because it's slightly different every time.
Do you have relationships or more connections with other planets like Mars or Venus, or do you have do you intuitively get things when you connect with those planets?
Yes, absolutely. In fact,
were you an extraterrestrial at one time or something?
I think we all are, Char.
I think so too, but I'm just asking if you think, because I don't want you to think I think you're a Martian.
I don't think I'm a Martian, probably more a Venusian. Or a Saturnian. I mean, I have a bit of a strong relationship with Saturn. I know it's a heavy planet for a lot of people, but I seem to shine a little bit more when that influence is in my life. But I quite like Venus too.
What sign are you?
Sorry?
What sign are you? Okay.
Just cut out a little bit.
Don't worry.
Again.
We'll get it back.
Yeah.
Just relax. What sign are you?
Cancer.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I know we're taping during Happy Birthday, but it's not going to air until after. Almost. But happy birthday!
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let me try that again. Okay. So what sign are you?
So I'm Cancer. That's my sun sign.
Okay. Yeah. And so what planet rules your sun sign?
What planet rules my sun sign? Well, the thing about...
Or do you... what planet are you most connected to, just you being a Cancer? It doesn't have to be all Cancers.
You know, the thing that I've noticed, though, Char, is that since I've become aware of planetary movements and done this work, I don't feel like a typical Cancer anymore.
Oh. I
used to, which is quite worrisome, quite moody, very intuitive, and very strong-willed. I get it, but I find I'm a lot lighter, and I am more acceptable to change. Cancerians don't always like change.
Yeah.
But I don't really get that moody. I haven't for years, and I'm so quick witted now as well, they actually feel more like a Gemini or a Leo, really. But if we look at
Really?
the non-typical zodiac,
Oh
and
wait,
if we look at, let's say,
isn't Cancer the moon? Is that usually
I
not
mean, I
you,
love the
but
moon. Yeah, but then again, I love the sun too. I love both of them.
though that brings you balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
And a lot of Cancerians do need to find balance too. So,
but you see yourself more as a Gemini and a Leo, so I could see that.
And if we took into account the 13 constellations, not the 12, which traditional astrology looks at, and we bring in, the serpent, the Serpentarius, we bring in the serpent bearer, Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, which fits in between Scorpio and Sagittarius, then I believe I would be a Gemini.
Really?
Because we would all, a lot of us change signs slightly if we look at traditional astrology. If we look at the 13 constellations rather than 12, and of course 13 is the number of the feminine energy, it's the number that frees us. And it's interesting, isn't it, that we don't follow that system.
It is. It is because, but it's not between Sagittarius and Capricorn. It's between
Sagittarius and Scorpio.
I mean, Sagittarius and Scorpio.
Yeah. Ophiuchus, it's in November / early December, I believe, but it pushes all the other signs out a little bit. Some people stay the same. I think a lot of Virgos remain the same, but a lot of other signs change slightly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of information over the net about the 13th constellation and about Ophiuchus.
What is the symbol of the 13th constellation?
The serpent bearer.
Oh, it is a serpent. You said the serpent, but it is a serpent.
Well, yeah, it's like a man holding a serpent, I believe, in the hand.
Have you ever done other paranormal, besides being intuitive, which I know you really are, and besides being a cosmic guide, have you ever used other tools in your work, like tarot card or?
Yes. When I first began, I loved using cards. Absolutely.
You did?
Yeah. So love the tarot. I'm not afraid of the tarot like some people are with the images and things. Traditional tarot I've used all sorts of different variations on that.
Which one did you use?
I've got the Goddess Tarot that I use the most by, I think her name's Chris Walder. That's my favorite deck. I've been using that for years. But obviously I've got lots of Doreen Virtues cards and a lot of other people's,
right.
Not so much the traditional tarot.
Who have a lot of cards.
Sorry?
I said a lot of people have been making their own cards. Okay, you're not hearing me yet. Okay,
yeah,
now
no,
what I said was a lot of people are making their own cards.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah. Have you made any?
No.
Have you thought of it?
I did a while ago when I believe they were like really popular probably 5-6 years ago.
So when are you coming back to America so I can see you in person?
Well, I will be there in early next year in February.
Okay,
which
great.
is not long, like 6 months. And yeah, it'll be good to catch up.
Will you let us know?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be in contact.
And
I'll
also,
let you know.
this September, this autumn, are you doing anything special that our viewers can come watch or view or visit or?
So I'm going to be starting very shortly, a lot more live interactions on Facebook with
good.
Facebook Live. Yeah. So I've got my setup happening now, so I can do that. So that was on my Facebook page, which is Elizabeth S. Peru. And probably maybe a few more webinars so we can get live interactions, because I love doing live meditation. Actually, is one of my things I enjoy the most, because we get people really experiencing their soul in the moment and releasing.
Do we have your website on? What is it? Your website? ElizabethPeru.com.
ElizabethPeru.com. Yes,
is your website. Well, It's always a pleasure to see you.
Me too, Char.
I hope everybody at home checks out ElizabethPeru.com. And take good care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon in person.
You too. Love you.
Thank you.
Love
I
you
love you
guys,
too.
and see you soon.
Be well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
Bye.
Okay, you guys don't go away because I've got a really special healing person coming. Her name's Terry. If you like what you've seen on CharVision, then go to char.net and book a personal reading with me, or join a group reading, or join one of my workshops where I teach you to be psychic and intuitive. Welcome back, everybody. So I was in Palm Springs and I was invited to a dinner party, and I didn't know the people, but there was this lovely lady here who's in our studio right now. Her name is Terry Keating. And so Terry was like, had something called a Bemer, and I thought she was talking about a BMW. I had no idea what she was talking about. But just to back up a little bit before you tell everybody what your Bemer is, or what the Bemer is. So you were as beautiful as you are. I mean, you just are naturally beautiful, inside and out. Okay, so you were you were in the fashion industry, and you were a model.
Yes.
And you were an actress, or you are an actress? I'm not sure. You are now. Okay. And wait, you work for AT&T and Kellogg's and Sears and
You know, the thing
Visa
is,
and a lot of places.
I did a lot of commercials,
Wow.
so I lied for a living.
But I bet some of the things you believed in, don't you think?
Yeah, not like I believe in the Bemer.
Okay, so tell us what the Bemer is.
Okay, so the Bemer stands for Bioelectromagnetic Energy Regulation, and it's all about our blood flow and the oxygen and nutrient supply and waste disposal. Our cells have waste, and that has to go
Wait. Our
somewhere.
cells have waste?
Our cells poop.
Okay. Wow. So how do we get... Is that how people get cancer? Because they don't cleanse their cells?
Well, that it doesn't go anywhere. Inflammation and dis-ease. I mean, we really can't make any claims, but for the
Right.
most part, it's an amazing. Bemer has helped.
So the Bemer does what to the cells?
It just helps it release the toxins.
Let's show a picture of, like, explain what the Bemer looks like so people know. So what is that up on the screen?
Okay, so that's called the B box. That's the brains. That's the computer. That's where the signal, which is a five patented, international patented signal that even NASA couldn't even duplicate it. So now
You're kidding.
No, they are actually putting it in the spacesuits now.
Whoa.
They just collaborated with the company.
Whoa.
From Liechtenstein, did we say that? Liechtenstein, Germany?
No, but you said it now.
18 years old. The
Wow.
company is not on trial. I mean, this is the real deal.
Right.
And that's why it came
And
in.
then what was the flat thing that people lie on that flat bed in
it's
the
like-
background?
That has coils. It has copper coils in it,
Mm-hmm.
which it helps the signal that goes with a cord into the bee body. I mean, that's the bee body, into
Mm-hmm.
the bee box.
And what are those red things?
Well, that red one is my favorite because it's the bee light, and you can actually, it stimulates collagen.
Oh,
Ah!
I'll buy
And-
one of those.
Yeah, and it helps with any sort of skin disorders and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
And then the other one was the bee spot, and that helps with anywhere where you have like isolated. Like I put it on my ankle, I put it on my toothache the other day.
You did? It works, right?
Gone.
Wow. How did you get into science and technology?
I knew after, such a great career, and I was very blessed, and I'm grateful that I had it and still kind of have it.
Because you do commercials and...
Yeah, I haven't really done one in a while because
Were you like in TV shows or...
I did do a few of those in one movie.
What movie?
Oh my gosh. Char.
What?
It's called JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling You. I was the devil in the blue dress.
Oh,
In
well,
the
that's kind
60s.
of cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. But it wasn't my calling, so how I got into health and wellness was just in 2008 at the crash, I just went, I bought a house in New Mexico, and I said, I'm going to go reinvent myself.
Wow.
And that's what I did. And then the Bemer just came in, recently.
So you were led to it.
I was, yeah. I think we're all led to where we're supposed to go.
I feel you're right too, but not everybody always listens.
Yes, that's true.
You followed it. You listened.
Thank you.
And how did you hear about the Bemer?
My dear friend in Santa Fe, she called me up. I'll never forget. I was sitting in the Venice Whole Foods parking lot, and it's like one of those, like, I will never forget this moment. And when she was telling me, I was like, this sounds like another world, like too good to be true. And I went to bed that night, and I was thinking something's shifted. And she called me the next day, and she said, would you like to try it? And I went, I knew you were going to call me. Oh. I drove down on a Friday, which is where I'm going tonight, in 405 traffic to Irvine to go and, you know, be part of the whole Bemer world down there. And I got on it, and that was it. It was
you just
like,
knew it.
I knew
you felt at home.
Well, did you get on it for a minute?
I did.
Not too long. We need to get you on.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It really is. It's an electromagnetic energy pull, and I really believe that the medicine of the future is electromagnetic energy. I'm positive of it.
Einstein said that. He said that the future of medicine will be a frequency.
Well, then there you go, because I think he's totally right. I mean, it makes sense. And what are some of the benefits of this Bemer?
Well, mental acuity, sleep management, cardio function, physical endurance. Athletes are using it all over the place. There's a team, I forget the name of it, in Europe that travels with it. Boris Becker, it was his, like, you know, secret weapon.
He used it all the time.
As the other wonderful tennis player, Roger Federer.
Really?
Yes, and Nadal. A lot of athletes use it. But my favorite thing is the sleep management.
Oh.
When you get to 6 weeks of using it twice a day, you start to sleep with it. And your whole life, I mean, I can't tell you how
much better you feel.
You actually get 2 hours right when you go to sleep and 2 hours right before you wake up. So normally it's 8 minutes in the morning and 8 minutes at night. But when you're sleeping with it, with 4 hours, my life hasn't been the same. Yeah. Got to get to the sleep.
And I didn't get to go on it very long, but the people at this dinner party liked it.
Marla, she's coming down tonight.
Marla. Is she coming down?
She got one.
Say hi to her. She got one?
She got one.
I'll say hi to her.
And she's promoting it with me, too.
Oh, she's going to do it as well?
Oh, yeah. She's so excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, you should, too. Come on. Get on the Bemer train.
No, I got enough going on. I'm going to let you guys do all that.
We'll just get you one.
Yeah. Yeah, is she going to help it with other people on it as well?
Yeah, you can either be a rep ambassador, so to speak, or you can just be a customer. And it's helping her so much that, you know, you get so excited. You're like, oh my God, I got to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Shout it.
So what can you say, like, some of the chronic illnesses and conditions that the Bemer therapy has helped or alleviate? Or
thanks for asking.
Are you
that.
allowed?
No.
You're not allowed? Okay.
No, it's a Class 1
medical
device with the FDA in our country. In Europe, it's a whole different
So you have to be
deal.
careful. I understand that because I go to healers, and I have healers that are incredible who won't even come on my show because they need to protect themselves. Yeah. So I totally get that.
Well, we're getting ready to more than likely be a Class 2.
Yeah, so when that happens, you'll just be ahead of the game. Yeah. Well, I so appreciate you coming here. Thank you so much. It's fascinating. It's great. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, I can give you, should I tell them? Okay.
Yeah.
It's RubyLight1, RUBYLITE, the number 1 at me.com. Or should I give them my number?
Okay, the website.
Oh, my website is Bemer. No, it's not.
Be Well Now.
Thank you.
Be Well Now.
It's BeWellNow.Bemer, BEMER, group.com.
Okay, so people can catch you through that.
Yes.
I don't know. Some of the guys might be calling you for a date, so I don't know if you want to give out your number or not.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Elisa's going.
It's a Google number.
It's a Google number. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Char.
I love seeing you.
Thank you so much for
Be
having
well.
me.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you, Sunny.
Okay, say thank you. Say nice meeting you. Okay, you guys, don't go away because I am going to be doing a reading and you really don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere, please. Please, Sunny and I want you to stay. Okie doke. I've got a lovely lady here for a reading. This is Joyce.
Hi.
Hi. All I know is I love your energy. I don't know anything else
thank
about.
you.
Oh, but I know your daughter. But I don't. Did I read for your daughter?
You did.
But I don't remember. I remember I read for you, but I don't remember everything I said to you. I never remember anything I said to anyone. So, full disclosure in my readings. Okay. Let me explain to you how this works, and then I'll do my very best to help you help yourself. So, I see things out in the room. So I got my eyes closed. So when I'm not looking at you, I'm not being rude. I'm getting messages. Okay. I communicate with that universal energy that is goodness, love, and God.
Okay.
I like it too. And then along the way, guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones who have passed over come in and help me to help you. So when I give you an initial, just say yes or no. Sometimes I'll give you a name. Don't say the name unless I say it first.
Okay.
Now, it's not logical. Two people may share the same name or initial, and one of those people might be living and one might be deceased. So they may, if there's two, if you could let me know, that will help me. I understand that when people come for readings, they usually have their own questions or agenda, and I try to answer those things before you can even ask. But sometimes there's a process to getting there, and sometimes things come in that we don't realize, that things you're supposed to know, or sometimes spirits come in even if you don't like. I don't know. I never know what I'm going to get because I'm just the conduit. Okay. But I always say my prayer of protection to make sure we're protected. So I'm going to say that first, and then we're going to start. We ask the universal consciousness that holds the highest spiritual power of knowledge, wisdom, and truth to guide and protect us. As we communicate with our guides and angels in the spirit world and tap into the wisdom of the universe, we respect this opportunity and take full responsibility to use this not for ego or controlling others, but with the pure intention of spreading love and healing life on this earth and beyond. Okay, is there another J or G person besides you?
Yes.
Is that a male?
Yes.
A J?
Yes.
Is he spelled J-O or J-A or just starts with J?
J-A.
Is he like James or Jack or?
Yes.
Jack? Who is Jack? Or James?
It's James.
Who's James?
That would be my, kind of my dad.
Okay, but did he raise you or?
No.
But he was the sperm donor or?
No.
He was like a dad.
Was like a dad.
Connected to your mom.
Yes.
Is he deceased?
Yes.
If he apologized, would it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like this man's apologizing. And I feel like he might not have, this is a way of him being able to elevate his own soul and his own spirit. So I'm going to move on.
Okay. Mom.
Is your mom May or an M?
Middle name.
Her middle name's May. Mm-hmm. Okay. And is your mom living?
Yes.
And and your aunt is May as
Mm-hmm.
well?
They both have the same middle name.
Middle name, is that Anne May?
Mm-hmm.
Anna May?
Annie May.
Okay, so did your mom also on medicine?
No.
She's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it must be, I think their mother's here. I think it must be your grandma. I don't know. She's not an M or an A, though.
No.
The grandma. I think the grandma's here, and that she's talking about May. Are both her daughters?
There's a great-grandma.
Who's May?
Annie.
Annie. Okay, so I think that person's here, too, but there's also their mother,
Mm-hmm.
I feel. Was there an issue in your family where someone didn't know who their father was?
Yes.
Was that you?
Yes.
So you didn't know who your real father is?
I didn't.
You never met him, or you're not sure who he is?
I know now.
But it wasn't that man I said, right?
No.
Is your dad deceased then?
Yes.
I feel like he's here. I don't know his name. I feel like he's apologizing to you as well. Did he not acknowledge it or give you attention?
Oh, yeah, he did.
He did. Why would he apologize then?
Wasn't around.
He
me
wasn't
as
around you.
much.
Okay, maybe that's it. But I feel like he's proud of you.
Yes.
Do you have Indian
Yes.
heritage?
Yes.
Is it Cherokee or Blackfoot
It's
or
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk? Okay, I knew it was something like that. They're here.
Oh, good.
Did you divorce?
Yes.
You had to.
Oh, yes.
You just had to. And then there was another man. Was there another man you almost married or was
Yes.
really close to?
Yes.
Did you break off as well?
Yes.
You had to. Who had water problems?
Water problem. That would
Water
be me.
problems.
That would be me.
In your house?
Yes.
Was there leaking
Yes.
or leaking in your pipes?
Yes.
Did you fix them?
Yes. It's
Are
being
they still
fixed.
broken?
Yes. It's in the process.
What got ruined?
Everything.
Like the floor got ruined.
Yes.
Is it rotted? The wood rotted
Yes.
now?
Yes.
So you had to hire somebody to fix this?
Mhm.
Were you worried about the money
Not the money. No.
or just worried about the house?
Yes.
Are you staying in that house?
No.
That's why I see an issue. So you have to put money in the house and then you're going to sell the house. Or you already sold it.
No, not yet.
You need to sell your house,
Okay.
but you need to fix it.
Oh, it's got to be fixed. It's not really a house.
There's
now.
rotted wood.
Everywhere.
Did they have termites too there?
No, probably. It's a mess.
There's no R in that name though.
There's an R.
Is it C-O-R?
Mm-hmm.
Corbin, something like that? Who is that to you?
That's my uncle. It's my uncle and my great grandfather.
And so maybe your great grandfather's around you. Cornelius?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I feel like your great grandfather's around you, and I feel. But your uncle's living?
No.
Okay, so then maybe it's both of them are around you.
There's actually 3 of them.
Who's
There's
the
an
other one?
uncle, there's a great uncle, and then there's a great grandfather.
Well, I'm not sure who's who, but I think they're around you. And you said that you are a flight attendant, but are you planning a holiday, like a trip? Okay, and who's the J, the other J besides the James?
Oh, that's my brother.
Is he James too, or
No.
he just starts with J?
Starts with J.
Is he J-E?
Yes.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Or Jeffrey?
That's it.
Are you friends with him?
Yes.
And does he live here as well?
Yes.
And does he also keep an eye on your mom?
Yes.
Does he live with her?
Yes.
You don't get upset with him, do you?
Not really.
Does he get upset living with your mom?
Yes.
Does it get frustrating for
Yes.
him? Is it because he can't afford it? Or
Yes.
so he lives off of your mom?
Kind of, in a way.
But he doesn't have a C for his middle name.
That would be my sister.
Your sister's a C. Is
Uh-huh.
that her first name or her middle name?
J and then a C.
Oh, she's a
She's
J as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is she J? Is it J with an L in the name or an N in her first name?
Yes.
Which?
Both.
Like Jacqueline?
Yes.
And then Jacqueline C. C-H or C with an L in
No,
it?
no C's.
Oh, I thought her middle name was C.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, Jacqueline has a C in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did she get divorced?
Yes.
Is she having a hard time right
Yes.
now? Making money?
Oh, yes.
Did she ask to borrow money from you?
No.
I just think she's having a hard time with her world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're very giving and kind to everybody, but it's good to stay in your own lane and take care of your own stuff
Yes.
and your daughter.
Yes.
I didn't realize that there was a guy around you now. But I didn't talk about him yet?
Not yet. Let's go there.
Is there an R or D in his name or R or B in his name?
B.
No.
B.
Starts with his first name or
No.
last name?
It's in the last name.
Yeah, but that's not it. I don't know if I'm tuned into him. She wants me to really talk about this guy. And there's not a K or C with his name. Or
Yes, there's a K.
does he start with K?
Yes.
Is it K-E?
Yes.
Kenny or
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes. First one.
Ken.
Yes.
Are you living with him?
No.
Is he open for business?
Meaning. What does that mean? Let's see. How about flying? How much longer do you see me actually in those friendly skies? Or
Are you 60 now?
Mhm.
I think at least 2 years.
okay,
Were you thinking of retiring in 2 years or 5 years?
like 10.
10 years? Oh. I could be off with that.
That's just me.
I feel like you can do it as long as you want. I feel like you can just keep doing it as long as you're happy doing it. I don't know the timing.
Okay.
Did you break off with him then?
Yes.
So his heart was broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on a rebound
Mm-hmm.
and married this woman.
Mm-hmm. No, not this one.
Somebody else. And then found this one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You're definitely the one that got away. He's always been in love with you. Yeah, I have a feeling you're going to end up with him if you want to. If you choose to. If you choose to accept this mission.
It's my choice.
It's your
like
choice. Joyce has a choice.
Joyce has a choice.
Okay. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
That took me on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But good. I see why you like him so much.
Okay.
Did he tell you he's thought about you all the
A lot.
time, all these
A lot.
years?
But same on both sides.
I think you're gonna like him. I'm talking to her daughter. I think you're gonna like him.
Okay. I trust you.
I think you're gonna like him. Why'd you break up with him in the first place?
Distance, impatient, young.
Wow. This is a good story.
You haven't heard the half of it yet.
Did you just run into him on the airplane or something, or did you just bump into him out of nowhere?
Kind of. Not bump into him, but do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
On TV.
You want me to stop?
No. Do we want to hear it?
I don't know if
We gotta go.
use it, but yeah, let's do it off.
Off camera.
camera.
There you
Okay,
go.
thank you so much.
Thank you for
You're
having
lovely.
me.
You
are a
are
pleasure.
lovely. Okay, everybody, thanks so much.
Oh, I thought it was great. Char was so receptive and so in tune to whatever she was picking up on me. Well, I think we're in tune together, and I just really enjoyed the reading. It was really good.
What a great show. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't thank you guys enough for sharing CharVision and for helping us move on and help other people. Take good care, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, dear.